What is up, everybody? It's Isaac of the Dead. I'm back here again with another video. Hopefully, I'll be back on a regular schedule. I just got a little update for you, and I'm going to say one little thing before I get out of here because I'm going to make this real quick and short, maybe 5 minutes. I don't know, something like that. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. There's a lot of people that are being unsubscribed right now, so make sure you are still subscribed. Don't want to have any sort of funny business by the big corporations here. So, just a little update, first of all. I am on my finals week. I'm actually in college right now. I'm on my finals week. That is why I haven't been posting as much on YouTube lately, because I've been focusing on school. It's something that I pay for. It's something that, I got to kind of prioritize. So on my free time, this is what I enjoy doing. This is what I enjoy sort of coming out with. And so I just wanted to pop on here and say that there's a lot of big things coming in the future. There's going to be a big announcement coming in the coming weeks on my channel. A lot of big things next year. In the next couple weeks, you're going to hear a lot from me on this channel. So stay tuned for that. Don't click subscribe and stay tuned for what I have in the future. So I was watching YouTube last night. I was going through some videos of detractors. If you don't know what a detractor is, essentially it is a person on YouTube that, or at least from what I consider, a person on YouTube that sees another artist, another person that's doing YouTube videos and making a video about them in response to something that they may have said or done. For example, reaction channels do this a lot. They react to something that whether they like it is a positive reaction, whether they don't like it becomes a detractor. And depending on how often they do it, it becomes more like weird pseudo drama. I'm not really sure how to explain it. Usually the people that get detractors don't address them most of the time. In fact, you just see them constantly building their channels off of somebody else. So I'm not here to call names. I'm not here to call names. That's not what I'm doing for this video, at least. I do intend to pull some detractors out as an example and make a video or two about how to handle detractors. It's one thing to get into a little keyboard fight with a keyboard warrior in your comments section. It's another thing when a guy or a girl, whoever, right, gets on their YouTube channel and slanders you with a bunch of things that, could, if you were to meet this person before they met you, like if someone saw their video before meeting you, then they're going to have that impression of you from that person that made a video about you. Does that make sense? The detractors are there because they ain't got shit else to talk about on their channels. And so they build their channels off of someone else's channels. They build their channels off of someone else's work. As a result, anybody who subscribes to them, anybody who watches them, they're free to subscribe. They're free to watch. They're free to agree with whatever the person is saying. But ultimately, what they're doing is giving that negative press towards the detractor or towards the person before, giving the positive press to the detractor. It's weird. It's a weird thing to explain unless I actually pull evidence and show you and explain frame by frame. However, I was watching these detractor videos and I was thinking, I mentioned in one of my shorts, how can you say that you don't like something unless you watch it? Like somebody was saying, if you don't like something, don't watch it. And I was like, how am I supposed to know that I don't like it until I watch it first? And then if I see something like the trailer and realize that it isn't made for me, then why would I go see it? It's not even like I'm trying to boycott or anything. I didn't fucking see Barbie because I knew it wasn't made for me, regardless of whether or not I was going to like the movie in general. So all of a sudden, these people, they're like, they get all high and mighty and they think that they're the shit. That because, they think that they have this sort of high ground morally whenever it comes to detracting against the position of the person that's being detracted on. Usually it comes down to politics. Yes, politics. Who would have known, right? It's usually they bring up like objective truths, but more often than not, they're acting in bad faith and they try to be petty. So I just thought, wouldn't it be a good idea to pull some good examples of detractors out, make a couple videos about it, and then see how someone could address the detractors. And I am not looking for YouTube drama. I'm not looking for responses. I'm not looking for, oh, starting a beef with a fucking YouTuber. Like, I ain't about that, all right? I think it's sissy shit. I think it's goofy. However, I'm pulling these perspectives out to prove a point about how you're supposed to handle detractors and how you probably shouldn't handle detractors and how you should handle haters and all that stuff. So, I'm not the only person who's done this. There's a thing called Monetize Your Haters from a guy that I met named Eric July, and I suggest you all go subscribe to Eric July. He's under the name Young Rippa on YouTube. I'm going to try and put a link in the description so you can go subscribe to him. But ultimately, yeah, watching these detractor channels, watching what they were saying, usually boils down to politics, and it doesn't boil down to the objective sort of nature of whatever it is they're trying to argue against another person. And it's not like they could be wrong either. Like, everyone's entitled to their opinions. So it's not like they were wrong to go after another YouTuber, because clearly they care in some kind of way to put themselves into the arena for a debate there. However, if they don't stand on the grounds of, like, good faith in order to make this argument work, then most of the time they crumble. For example, I hear a lot of people say, like, okay, we're going to talk about MAGA rappers, right? Feel however you want to feel about MAGA rappers. You can love them, you can hate them. That is your thing, right? It's your thing. I hear a lot of people out there say that MAGA rappers can't make good music. And it's like, well, there's a little bit of truth to that, for sure. I mean, not all the music is great. I'm not going to point fingers or call out names here, but for most of the time, yeah, the music's not really great. But that doesn't mean that it's all bad, right? That doesn't mean that it's objectively bad across the board. It could just be a couple artists. It could be just a couple songs. It doesn't really matter. But there's a lot of people that detract from that. The detractors that go after MAGA rappers usually take the stance that, well, these things are illegitimate because they're objectively bad. But they're also politically based, and therefore they are extra bad. Now, if this person that was a detractor could say the same about somebody who made a similar song objectively as bad, but also agree with them politically, would they say the same thing? That is how you test bad faith actors, is how well will they treat their own side, their own people that they agree with. Me personally, I'll tell you something is shit, regardless of whatever I agree with in terms of politics, because I think politics are bullshit anyway. And nobody should be judging things based off of politics alone, because otherwise the whole world would be fucking garbage, like it currently is. And so, when it comes to acting in bad faith, and when it comes to these objective truths in terms of these arguments that the detractors make, you have to try and find a way to navigate around them, because then they start getting petty. Then they start calling names. They start roasting you. They start doing all that crazy shit to try and get under your skin when their arguments don't work. So I will be making a good example out of this. I will be pulling things out from other videos and whatnot. And so, yeah, that's going to be a fun thing to dive into for sure. And I do have big announcements coming up, a couple weeks. I'm going to be uploading more after finals are done, man. So, yeah, once finals are done in this next about 7 days, 7 days is about whenever I'm hitting the threshold of how finals are going to be. So make sure y'all are subscribed, tune in, like, share, get your boy out there. I'm going to have a big year next year. Let's do this, man. I got some big shit coming. Let's do this. Make sure y'all subscribe. Thank y'all for watching.